Did you know that yarrow is a herb that can be helpful for period pain? Yarrow's Latin botanical name is Achillea millefolium. It's named after Achilles. This herb has been renowned since ancient Greece as a remedy to staunch bleeding. This fresh leaf can be chewed up and made into a little poultice and placed directly on a wound to stop bleeding. So it's a handy one to have in your garden for, grazed knees or the odd stab from a rose's thorn. It is also helpful to regulate the menstrual cycle, particularly with heavy bleeding. The hot tea of yarrow can be great if you have a fever as well. It's also been used for rashes and allergies, even incontinence. So like with many herbs, it has a wide array of uses, but today we will focus on how it can help period pain by easing cramps, reducing heavy flow and supporting the digestive system as well. Yarrow is a flowering herb. It's been used for centuries in traditional medicine. It's a really beautiful plant with these sort of feathery leaves and then small clusters of flowers. My yarrow isn't in flower yet for me to show you today, but I've got the leaf. And it contains loads of amazing phytochemicals that are anti-inflammatory, antispasmodic, analgesic, pain relieving. So it's a brilliant herb for period pain. In terms of its phytochemistry, yarrow contains flavonoids, alkaloids, and volatile oils that work synergistically to reduce inflammation. The antispasmodic properties of yarrow help to relax the smooth muscles of the uterus, reducing excessive contractions that cause that discomfort during menstruation. Yarrow also has a mild analgesic effect, so it contains salicylates, which are natural compounds with pain relieving properties, and the plant compounds which aspirin's derive from as well. These are just a few of the ways that yarrow seems to work to ease period pain, and while we're not sure of all of the different ways that it works to relieve period pain, we do know that it does work, both from my personal and clinical experience and from the scientific research. So there was a study done in 2018 that looked at both yarrow and chamomile for their use for period pain. It was a double-blind randomized control trial, which is scientific gold standard, with 50 women with primary dysmenorrhea, which is basically period pain without any other condition like endometriosis. And during the study, the average pain severity decreased significantly, and they concluded that both herbs can be used to help ease menstrual cramps naturally. Yarrow is also an amazing herb for heavy periods. Often heavy periods and period pain go hand in hand. And as I mentioned, yarrow's Latin name comes from the warrior Achilles, who used the herb to heal his warriors' wounds, basically staunching their bleeding enough to send them back into battle. So it has this so-called styptic quality. It's that hemostatic ability to reduce bleeding, and that also extends to menstruation. So it'll help to reduce a heavy flow, but it won't stop the period altogether. It has a more balancing effect. It also has an emmenagogue action, meaning it can help bring on a delayed period too. So it's depending on what your body needs. Yarrow has astringent properties that make it particularly effective for reducing that heavy bleeding as well. So that's also really helpful in perimenopause when bleeding can be quite excessive, often called flooding, and can be quite debilitating. It contains these compounds that help to constrict blood vessels and promote clotting, and that helps to reduce the excessive bleeding. And so by tightening those blood vessels in the pelvic region, yarrow can help to regulate the blood flow and alleviate the discomfort and also the inconvenience caused by really heavy periods. Yarrow also supports the digestive system. It helps to balance appetite, aid digestion and absorption, and it's just an overall wonderful herb for digestion. This is important if you get cramps, because often cramps are made worse by inflammation in the digestive tract. It is common for women to get constipated before their period and or to have diarrhea once the period arrives. Your intestines and uterus are in very close proximity. So if the bowels are inflamed or swollen or congested, then they can have an impact on the neighbouring organs like the womb as well. Yarrow is also helpful for IBS symptoms, for gas and bloating and indigestion. It contains a lot of tannins, which are astringent and help to protect the gut from infection and irritation. Also helpful for diarrhea and inflammation of the digestive tract. So if you're prone to digestive discomfort before your period, or if you experience kind of any of the above symptoms, then it could be worth taking yarrow in that premenstrual week as well as during your period. It's a herb I take daily anyway as part of my kind of digestive support and pre-meal bitter herbal formula that gets my digestive juices flowing and ready for food. So it is suitable to take long-term or acutely, depending on what you need. Yarrow may help balance hormonal fluctuations during the menstrual cycle, potentially reducing the severity of symptoms like mood swings and bloating. Some herbalists find it really helpful for balancing an irregular cycle as well. It's got bitter components that support the liver and digestion, and this could be part of how it balances hormones. You know, our liver often needs support to clear the body of excess hormones, and the digestive tract needs to clear them out of the body afterwards. So basically, if you're constipated and eating processed food, drinking alcohol, or taking medication that your liver is already working hard to process, then the excess hormones don't have their normal exit route and can stay in the body. That leads to further hormone imbalance. And oftentimes this hormone imbalance, usually in excess of estrogen, leads to symptoms like period pain. To learn more about different ways you can work with yarrow, you know, as a tea, a tincture, an essential oil, flower essence, or even tablets, then check out my written blog, which is linked in the YouTube description box below. And as always, if you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe to our channel for more about plants and periods and how you can have happier periods and more positive